Okay. We should be back. Right, we should be back. Right. But yeah. So what ended up happening is stream PC crashed. But we're back now, so we should be good. Right, the stream PC crashed, but we're back. So we should be good. At least for now. I don't know what happened over there. But we're back. I'll have to like fix the title from the other part. For when we'll do the thing. Because like, yeah, it crashed, but we're back. I was like, wait, what? Why did it say reconnecting? And it's like, oh. Of course, stream PC crashed. Which was, unfortunate, but it is what it is. We recovered. At least. Micro PP, yeah. Yeah, we call it, it's the micro PP. Microsoft. I don't know. It blue screened. I don't know why it blue screened, but it did. But it's all good now. We're here. What happened with Sheep Chat? What? Why'd you say thanks to Sheep Chat? No, it's Windows 10 on that other PC. I have to like upgrade it to Windows 11 later this year. I'm gonna upgrade it to Windows 11. I have to do like a clean install though, because I'm gonna put Windows 11 LTSC. Windows 11 2024 LTSC IoT. I'd like to put Linux on it, but there's certain things that I need it to do that I can't get it to work on Linux, so yeah. Whatever. Oh wait, I just realized I forgot to check the other thing. Alright, after we kill these guys. Oh, damn it. Alright, let's head on over there. Mm-hmm. And then guess what? I killed my other PC too. But we're back. Oh well. That was a pain. Though I think it's just Unreal Engine crashed there. Fucking Unreal Engine, man. Oh well. Let's get the music back. Alright, let's get back in. Oh damn it, now the launcher's taking forever to open up. Alright, let's get booted back in. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm fine.
The deep space is right ahead. The deep space is right.
Alright, let's get booted in. Alright, let's get on in. Come on. Alright, let's see. What can I sell here? We sell those. Not the plums yet. Those tonics we sell. The other ones we leave as is. Damn. I've been coping past 2 days getting banned over Pokemon cards, what the hell? Wait, why are you getting banned over Pokemon cards? That's weird. That's so weird. Getting banned over Pokemon cards. Alright. Alright, let me go and park my main and then we'll just switch to my ult. I'll quickly finish up the stuff here and then we'll quickly do the react thingy, I guess. Okay. I'll have to figure out the hell's going on there after. Let's go to Kylo. I need to mine everything. I guess I can just start there and just go around in a circle. And do that. Yeah, I'll do that. Alright, let's see. What do I have set up on my Mac? Oh. Favorites. Okay, I have those on. That one will put stasis rifle. And then scanner, and then the other one I want. Alright, let me see if that's the same button layout as my other one. Four is a scanner. That's stasis. Okay. That is the order I want. It was not the scalping the person had issue with. I see. Well, that is what it is, man. Card stuff is crazy. Imagine going crazy over a piece of paper. Do you have that limited edition, that special edition, first edition Holo Charizard or something? Ultimate, the super famous card, the Charizard? The OG Charizard card? Is that why? And then you get, and then you don't forget though, Charizard's allergic to stealth rocks. Allergic to stealth rocks. Yeah, black hole is so good. For the mining. It's so good for mining. And we know where all the places to mine are because they're marked. There's a clear visual indicator on the map if there's a mining spot. Well, I don't really pay attention much to the card game. I see. Where are the ores here? Where are my ores? Whatever, on to the next one. I see, it was your first ban. Yep, it is what it is though. Why is that one floating? Floating ore node. But yeah, on to the next one. Right, these colored things indicate where the ores are. Oh damn, these ones are more spread out. That was annoying that they didn't put them like next to each other at that one. Because sometimes they are, sometimes they're not. Alright, got the ore there. Gotta go get the... I see. Oh, it is what it is. Time to get all the companion ore though. Need to get the companion ore to make a companion cube, I don't know. If you get a bunch of companion ore and put it together, can you make a companion cube? How much ore do I have? Oh, I have enough for the weekly. Right now. I'm not getting that lucky with the RNG spawns of the ore right now. I'll just quickly check every spot and then I'll do the ore thing next week. I wouldn't say improving, it's only gonna get worse. It's fucked here. I feel like the only way to get it to improve is if you get like those railway guns from Trails of Cold Steel and have them like pointed directly at like at the homes and businesses of every single cartel and government offices and threaten to shoot them. I feel like that's the only way to actually fix the problems. To do it by force. And then it's like slowly go after some of them and just actually kill them all off. At this point. But yeah, actually fire them. Which is what actually happens in the prologue before you get a time skip in reverse. At the start of Trails of Cold Steel. Where they had them pointed. They had them pointed at Crossbow. And like the tutorial start was a mission to stop it. But then they go but you fail and it fires them off. No, Canada's job market is far worse. You have no idea how messed up immigration rules and laws are here. That can lead to it being exploited and loopholes to get around it. It is really bad here. Yep. That's why I feel like at this point, it's like you gotta hold them all at gunpoint and actually shoot them off. As an example. So basically, the way things work here is if you're an employer or a business, you can technically bring anyone into the country for work. Doesn't matter what kind of job it is. If you have something lined up, you can skip the entire process. But whoever you bring over with this process, they can only stay within the country as long as they keep the job. And they can be revoked at any time. So what ends up happening is they like to import foreign workers for very cheap and pay them less than minimum wage en masse. And they've basically taken over the job market because it's so easy for them to do it. Like, there are memes where, like, Tim Hortons is called Sink Hortons and shit. Because of it, it's basically you walk into a Tim Hortons and all you see are a bunch of Indian workers everywhere. And stuff like that. But basically, because of certain loopholes and stuff in there, it's like the job market, you're basically competing against people that will take less than minimum wage and can be imported en masse for cheap. And they're basically, it's kind of like slave labor, but not quite. But it might as well be, in a way. Because otherwise, if they don't do the thing, they're instantly deported. It's basically that situation. So you end up with businesses and stuff en masse importing people into the country to work for cheap, really cheap. So like, you basically can't compete. And it's for everything. It was originally meant for temp workers and for certain types of things, but because of loopholes, it's been exploited for basically everything. Yes, because they can exclude a lot of things, benefits and other stuff. They don't have to give it to them. They could also pay them less and force worse conditions on them and get away with it. Because otherwise, what ends up happening if they get reported or whatever, they just get forced out of the country. Because they're basically importing slaves in a way, without calling it that. It's kind of like, you're competing against modern day slaves. Think of it that way. In its own way. And the other problem too is also it puts a big strain on housing and stuff, and the housing market here is really bad. And keep in mind, if Donald Trump got his way and made Canada the 51st state, it would be the poorest state by a lot. Because you end up with like where people are like average wages that people are making is less than the poorest state in the US, while also dealing with cost of living similar to like New York and California. It's bad. Really bad. That's basically what happens here. It's really, really bad. But then there's also the other part too, where there's basically like a cartel for literally everything that if it exists, there's basically a Canadian cartel for it. And basically everything has like every type of service or product or whatever, there's basically one company that runs off everything. For one specific thing, and it's like basically everyone's just fucked. You end up basically having a choice of your only choice isn't, you're not choosing between products or companies or whatever. You're stuck choosing between either having something or not at all. You're basically stuck like that. And there's a lot of price fixing and other crazy shit that goes on here at the same time. It's really bad. Like at this point, like the solution would be to constantly threaten to kill the people that are like running the thing until they stop. At that point. Like just nuke them. Get rid of them. That's basically, like, that's how bad it is at this point. That's the only thing that could fix it. If you just have like a giant nuke just floating above them and you threaten to drop it on them at any given time. I feel like at that point that's the only way to get things to change. Because it's just that bad. Like at this point. It's really that bad. Alright, we gotta get the normal meteorites. I mean, it's not even just politicians, man. Because the problems are so deep, even like politics won't solve it. You need to take it much further than just politics. It's that bad. Like, it's to the point where, like, certain types of places getting robbed and stuff, people would cheer for it. Like, that's how bad it is. People would cheer for certain things to happen. That's how bad it is here. People would actually cheer for it. Certain businesses and organizations getting problems, people would actually cheer for it. To an extent. But like, yeah. Like, to an extent, like, it's like, if like the local bank where I live gets robbed, I would cheer for the robber and hope they get away with it. I would actually cheer for that. Like, that is like the sentiment. I would cheer for that. I don't care what the robber does, I would just cheer for it. If fucking Loblaws gets nuked, I would cheer. I would cheer for that. I would celebrate it. Like, that's just the sentiment, man. I would. Like, at this point. That's how fucked it is. But yeah, it is what it is. Alright, what else is here? More ores. Yeah, that's not gonna work, man. It's not that simple. It really isn't that simple, man. At this point, it'd be better off if we could replace all the politicians with an AI or something. Get rid of all the humans in there. At this point. Besides, to some extent, once you like, if you have enough money, the laws are just a suggestion. Like, the thing is, with how things are, laws and rules eventually become a suggestion than a thing you have to follow. If you have enough money and backing, everything is a suggestion, not a requirement, not a rule. It's just a suggestion. Like, let's be real. with how things get exploited and abused all the time, eventually you get to a point where it's like, it's more of a suggestion than anything else. It's really not that simple. Yep, you can buy the law, exactly. Like, at some point, that's why I'm saying it's not that simple, because at some point, it's a suggestion. It eventually becomes a suggestion, not a thing to follow. And that's just what happens. And then it gets exploited constantly. That's why, like, that point, I would rather just have all the humans in politics replaced. Just getting rid of all of them. Harder to bribe an AI anyways. Alright, you have a good nap then. I mean, in an idealistic world, sure. But just purging them all isn't enough. Because, like, you get rid of one, another one will come back in its place. So at some point, you gotta, like, do something else on top to make sure it doesn't repeat. You know? You also have to, like, come up with preventative measures. Even if you were to purge them. Because otherwise it'll just repeat itself. Nah, not quite. Alright, let's see what else is here. Alright, let's go claim all the stuff here. Gotta load all those things there. I'd rather vote for a vegetable, man. I'd rather take a random vegetable. Let's be real, neither. If you're gonna pick the least awful one out of those, then you take Trump. Obviously. But like... You know... I'd rather have like a random vegetable from the grocery store. Let's be real. Okay. We need to get more ores. Oh yeah, now they're inside there. Things to grab here that it's pointing to. Oh yeah, I do agree. That part I do agree though. Some of the other things, not quite so much. There are better ways to go about what he was trying to do for certain other things. But like, yeah. Since a lot of the things he did do, like, it feels like he just did them on impulse. More than anything. Let's get more of the companion ore. Gotta get all the ore. Right. Now for over here. Alright, what else is here? Oh, more ores for me. No. I just need the ores. Do you yearn for the mines? The children, they yearn for the mines, or whatever. What was the full quote on that? Something about the children yearning for the mines. You know, we'll go look it up after. After we finish grabbing our stuff here. Yeah, Steve, that was a reference to something else, though. That was a reference to a different joke. When Steve said that. That was not where that quote is from. It had something to do with the children yearning for the mines. Because it was about something about child exploitation and stuff. It was a joke about that. Uh-huh. Does the lore even matter? It's a freaking sandbox. Why does lore matter in a sandbox game? Why would it matter? Right, it's a sandbox game. Why would the lore matter? Okay. Wait, no, actually, wait, I got the perfect idea, actually, for those people. Instead of the killing them, you treat them like the children that were treated in paradise. Right? You use them for experimenting on drugs, but then because that's too expensive, you make them work as prostitutes and abuse them. Perfect. You treat them like paradise. The 15th star door. If you're curious, look it up. You treat them the way Ren was treated at paradise. You take them to paradise. Nah, you take them to paradise. If you don't know what I mean, look up Stardoor 15 Paradise. You take them to paradise. Alright. Oh, I got a random purple ore from that. Cool. You can sometimes RNG get more. Get better ore too. More ore and better ore. Which is neat. Do 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 do. Alright, let's go in here. Price not good. They were better yesterday, actually. We come back. Is that a new player here? Damn, Game Alive, new player. They got a new player right here. New player right there. Just chilling over there. New player, Game Alive. Imagine Game Alive. Well, welcome, Elias. Alright, we're gonna go do the React segment and end off. Technically, we've been live for what, 3 hours now? It's just that I had to restart the stream not too long ago because my PC crashed. Both of them, not dead game though. Yeah, not dead game, not dead yet. No, it's just another person. What the hell is this hero bride? What the fuck? No. That makes no sense. You and your scary spaghetti. Alright, let's go to the next thing. Nah, I'm good. What the hell is he brining anyways? Sounds like he's just soaking things in a bunch of salty water, you know? I didn't have old man this week on this account. I had 2 old mans, I think, on my main this week, but not on my alt. Which is kind of funny. Alright, we'll go to the next one. Okay. On to the next one. Alright, he's dead. Do 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 do. Alright, let's go do those react things now. There was only a couple of them before we end off. And switch back to sleep stream mode again. Alright, let's go do that. Alright, let me see if I can find the video. Oh, what was it? I thought I had it saved. It was probably like also posted in Cake's Discord. Let's see. It's probably in here. What is this? We check. What the hell is this? Patch so pink that Tectone only talk about how Momo's sponsorship worked in the story itself. What? What is this?
Editors. Yo, editors. 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 If any of you guys are here, you are not uploading me reacting to the story on YouTube. You're not gonna do it. People are gonna bitch way too much that I'm not paying full attention, and I don't even want to hear that shit, so you're not uploading this shit to more Tech Town. Yeah, as a matter of fact, you ain't ever uploaded another story react ever. Because people are gonna bitch way too much. You're not paying enough attention. You're not playing the game that I want. Absolutely not. I'm not giving anybody a place to bitch. Fuck no.
Damn. That is something. That is something, man. Must always win. And then there's the empty one where you can just get it from playing the game. Perhaps so that it's not. Alright, we keep going up. They say that without even knowing the pull economy. And the stuff around there. I don't know if it's the best or not. Oh, but yeah, what is this? Something. What is this? I don't know what that was about, but okay. I'm pretty sure the crash out was here somewhere. From the dude. What is this?
Bad, Kuro better. They're both bad. Alright? They are. Because now, the Wuthering Waves' only personality trait is shit on Hoyo. And they can't talk about anything else.
Yep.
And it's the truth. And if you want to act like y'all are different, well, just look at how ass hurt everybody got over Wuthering Waves story reviews. Let's be real, man. They're both bad. Okay? Doesn't mean that Wuthering Waves the game is bad.
Yeah.
Wuthering Waves the game is great. But it's
sure.
getting worse, guys. It is.
Hi, Tayo. Alright, let's see. Where is it? I thought it was like posted here or whatever. Oh, here, we'll just look him up on YouTube. We'll make it easier on ourselves. Unfortunately, devs listened.
Live stream. Hello there. It's
Alright.
8:36 in the morning here in the UK. I've been up all night. We've just watched the PlayStation endfield presentation at China Joy. Not only did we receive the devastating blow of no news at all, endfield is not in fact tomorrow, but
It's not.
the only real new information that we got was regarding the dodge.
Yep.
So making this quick little video to get up to date, just to make my thoughts on it clear. Basically, they've done everything that I didn't want them to do. Notice here that there are 3 bars of stamina, but
Yep.
they don't make up half of a circle.
Yeah, and you have to get up. You can still get more. That was like in the previous beta as well.
They've added 2 more stamina bars, up from 6 to 8. Not only that,
Yep.
but perfect dodges now grant you a little bit of SP, no longer use stamina, have a much flashier animation, and don't interrupt the basic attack sequence, or just fast forward straight to the last basic attack in the sequence, giving you the final strike much sooner.
You know, at that point, they might as well just get rid of all the combat and make it as soon as you get an enemy in front of you, you get like 20 QTEs, and then you're done. Like, they might as well just replace it all with a bunch of QTEs everywhere at that point.
And additionally, you see there, animations are still cancelable. They've done absolutely everything that I didn't want them to do.
Yep.
But there are still some questions that haven't been answered. We don't know if this is specific to Enmin's.
But like, honestly, they should do this. If people can skip and copy other players' blueprints for the factory stuff, they should let us skip all the combat entirely if we don't want to do it. If they're gonna put like the blueprint thing that you can share so people can just copy each other's factories and let them skip that, they should let other players copy other things, setups for combat, and have the thing do itself there. That way people don't have to do the combat if they don't want to. They should go full circle. You know? Then take those QTEs and make them trigger by themselves. Yeah, exactly. Take it a step further.
Class, like it could be specific to guards or specialists or whatever. We didn't see. Like Enmin is the only character that was showcased. We don't know if this new dodge is specific only to the red circles on the ground. We don't know if it's specific to, you know, if they've made it, you know, so the perfect dodge is harder to trigger or just as hard to trigger. We don't know.
Yeah.
If they'll design enemies that, you know, design an abundance of enemies that make it harder to dodge, we just don't know. There's lots of questions that remain to be answered, and a lot of the effectiveness of dodging in the future will rely on how they design the enemies. And they've been quite good at enemy design in Arknights, but it remains to be seen whether they'll carry that over to Enfield. But really, the purpose of making this is to say that, yeah, what I wanted for the game is not going to happen. They have made the
Yep.
dodge much easier. They have made it. They have effectively removed. Well, I say effectively. They have removed all downsides from dodging. There is no consequence or punishment or any trade-off whatsoever for dodging. You can just dodge to your heart's content, and that is how Enfield looks now. The other major question, of course, is that this build looks mighty similar to the January beta, and we don't know if this build is an early build, and we don't know if it's changed in the month since. But like, this is all it's just copium. Really, at this point, I have to say, yeah, that's it. I give in. That's how Enfield looks now. That's what Enfield wants to do. That's what Hypergriff wants to do. That's what they want for the game. I made my feelings known. I did what I could. I still think this is the wrong decision, but I'm not Hypergriff.
Yep.
I'm not making the game. They are. The most important thing, though, that I want to say with this little video is that this doesn't diminish my passion for the game. I'm still just as passionate about Enfield as I was before. Yeah, I'm disappointed that they've done this with the dodge, that they've taken this direction, but like, it should have been obvious from the videos that I made that I have enormous passion for this game, and that hasn't gone away. I said I would be there no matter what when the game comes out, and that remains true.
Okay.
I will still be making content with this game. I am still going to log the fuck in, harder than I've ever logged in before when this game comes out. You will see much more content from me on Enfield. I'm not going anywhere. But this is just to say, yeah. What I wanted for the game, at least for the combat side of it, is not happening.
I see.
But
and it was called
nothing more I can
modding
do.
because rep farming in that game was
accept the game for what it
tedious.
is.
I see.
The motivation behind making those videos was because I wanted Hypergriff to make the game they want to make. And I kind of have to just accept that this is the game they want to make. I can admit when I'm wrong. This this doesn't mean Enfield's gonna EOS or anything. It's gonna make shitloads of money, regardless. It was going to make shitloads of money, regardless of whether or not it removed the dodge.
Oh boy.
My concern was never about Enfield failing or anything like that. It's gonna make loads of money. My concern was whether or not it was a game that I wanted it to be.
But yeah.
That it was a game that I would be able to cherish. It could still be. I don't know what they've been
Yeah,
cooking.
the ones who wanted to make the feature close to the most famous gotchas will quit in a
The
week.
sun will rise tomorrow.
Leaving the most...
And I'll still be looking forward to Enfield.
leaving behind a huge bummer.
And I'll still be there on day one. I'll still be there when the servers open. And I hope you all will be too. Basically, yes, I'm disappointed. It is what it is. We go next. We continue. We move forward.
Honestly,
thanks for watching, and I'll see you around.
if they make way to skip factory, then make way to skip combat entirely. I know a ton of people that are interested in Enfield for everything but the combat and the changes actually make them less interested in the combat. So, let's skip that too. Let us skip that too then. Go full circle. Let us go full circle. I don't want to play. We don't want to play Genshin. It's dodge today and base might be next. Only a matter of time. Exactly. Yeah, all in shielder, just heal, yeah. It's Pepega anyways, man. It's Pepega anyways. Damn, people not really happy with Mario Kart World. No, that's not surprising. Let's be real. Yeah, I mean, the thing is though, like, it's just, End of the day, it's still Genshin crap. What is this? Shocking interview about Yuzo about this thing? Oh, it's just one of those, whatever. Okay. Oh, they just mined with you? Okay. Yeah, and it's like, I don't want to play fucking Genshin or WoW again. Oh boy, reroll guide, what the hell? They gonna make a fucking reroll guide? That's crazy. What the fuck is freaking Prideman doing, man? What's the point of Prideman if you don't treat it as a Bible? You never using Prideman back when playing Hoyo game, you look for a build. They gave me a wall of text, fuck this shit. I don't know. I don't think so. But hey, congrats on finally getting every single standard weapon. For now. For now. I wouldn't use either anyways. I mean, like, I've said it before. Right? Like, I'm never gonna bother giving any of the current Hoyo games or Wuwa another chance to play them again. Unless they either have a Mega Man X Dive EOS situation, and then maybe I'll give that a look. Maybe. Or they pay me and sponsor me, but I'll only fulfill the obligations of the contract of the sponsor. And nothing else. That's the only way I'll touch those things ever again. Right? Like, for me personally, it's just like, don't give a fuck. The only reroll of the first limited is Lacrimosa, fair enough. Well, we'll see what happens. But even then, it's just like, Yeah, for now until GU, okay, fair enough. But yeah. Yeah, it's like, it's not, like, at some point, it's not even worth it anyways to keep doing it. But yeah, just go with what you got. Fair enough. It's also gonna be a long reroll process. It's gonna be a really long process to reroll. The intro to NT is long. There's a long intro there. You gonna reroll for like you gonna like do a 2-hour reroll attempt? Yeah, it's crazy, man. Anything new here? You do it and then quit weeks or days after, yeah. And then it's just like, what was even the point? What even was the point? When that happens, what even was the point? Alright. Anything new here? Damn, we got Legislus versus King PvP right there. Oh, the scythes are being held in opposite directions, like. Bro, old world boss. How is this a challenge anymore? You just outgear them. It doesn't matter if they resist you. Okay, what else here? King's outfit reminds them of Postal Dude. Okay. Sure. You played Musume, re-rolled for 2 popular SSRs and duped 3 out of 4, and then you're not really playing it anymore. Yeah. And then Dimension level 10, yeah. Alright, it is what it is, man. Where's that video I saw?
In the ongoing fight against internet censorship and the strategy to directly pressure payment processors,
Oh yeah, we got this.
had a number of testimonials.
I saw this on my recommendation feed 2 days ago, but we forgot to look at it.
Recently, where people are talking about their experience calling these payment processors.
Yeah,
and
calling the payment
how
processors.
The company representatives seem to be getting annoyed and/or upset, saying that they're getting a bunch of calls like this. And the ultimate point here is that it does seem to be working based off these testimonials. But now we have more information because MasterCard themselves have actually issued a response this morning, just about an hour ago. Pirate Nation summarizing their response here, and we'll read the full thing for ourselves too, although it's not a very long statement anyways, but we'll get to that in a second. So, it says, MasterCard issued a statement that they haven't evaluated any game restrictions of any activity on game creator sites despite recent adult game removals on itch.io. And as mentioned, the full statement from MasterCard News says, clarifying recent headlines on gaming content, MasterCard has not evaluated any game or required restrictions of any activity on game creator sites and platforms, contrary to media reports and allegations. Our payment network follows standards based on the rule of law. Put simply, we allow all lawful purchases on our network. At the same time, we require merchants to have appropriate controls to ensure.
Here's what you do now. Here's what we do. See this place? Collective Shout? Here's what we do now. Oh, let's see. Ooh, our team, board members, ambassadors, partners. Look up every single member here. Find their contact stuff and fill their emails with porn. Every single member. Every single one of them. You look them up. They probably have like LinkedIn profiles or whatever. Sign them up for Pornhub and everything. Go like sign them up for Pornhub or whatever other site you can think of. You send them all the porn and everything. Every single member here. You know, you go after them. They're the board members, the team members. You go after them all. Help them. They want to fight against it, right? Might as well give them what they want. Fill their stuff with a bunch of junk. Spam call them. Right? That's what they want. Right? So they can go complain about it to Mastercraft. Yeah, send them more tasks. Swarm them with it. Don't let it end. Here's the thing though, that's exactly what they do to MasterCard and Visa and stuff. That type of behavior. They harass them. So instead, harass them so they can't harass the other people. You just keep annoying them like crazy. And keep going crazy after them. I don't understand why like groups on like 4chan and stuff haven't made posts about it. About like trying to go after them that way. It's not like it's hard to find some of their information. They have like actual like LinkedIn profiles here. You can find their LinkedIn, you can look at contact info, you could probably try to do stuff to figure it out. They could probably spread it around. After the fact, you know? You'd think they would have done that. Right? Give them all the port and everything. Collective call to the manager, exactly.
MasterCard purchases cannot be used for unlawful purchases, including illegal adult content. Now, if we go to the MasterCard News Twitter account itself and take a look at the official statement that we just read, we can see that they are already getting called out in the community notes. These being added that read, both Steam and Itch have stated their removal of adult content came from pressure by payment process.
No, you know what they should do? The group thing where they kept going after them? It should be done weekly. They should like organize it again, do it every single week until they reverse everything. Even if they made the statement, do it again. And then do it again. And then do it again. And then do it again. Keep doing it.
Including MasterCard. Furthermore, MasterCard and other payment processors have a documented history of refusing service to Japanese retailers over legal adult content. The one and only Madam Savvy responding, saying, I highly recommend everyone file an ethics complaint with the lawfully required ethics hotlines. They respect anonymity, but now MasterCard is just lying. MasterCard is named by every site and shop that has been forced to enact censorship for years. And most recently with Collective Shout, on their own website, there are multiple pages where they're directly implying that MasterCard is one of the payment processors that they went after and pressured. Therefore, getting these payment processors to then force Steam to enact various censorship, and Steam's policy is even changing because of this stuff. So if MasterCard really wants us to all believe that this is not true, that they're not actually doing this, and therefore Collective Shout's lying, you would expect that they would actually be going after Collective Shout, but they seem to have nothing to say about Collective Shout. And instead they just released this damage control statement, expecting all of us to believe it. Now, here's something I think you guys are going to find very amusing. So I've been reading a lot of the wonderful comments that you guys have been leaving, and I stumbled upon this one, and I know it's like wide, but I'll read it for you. So this comment says, called them today, referring to payment processors. They said, please write an email and submit it. Lol, I told them no, I won't be doing that. I'll be calling again, thank you.
Yeah,
and the reason this is so funny is, well, I'll just read this comment from Sekwar from the other day that provides some more context, some more insight rather, on how the stuff is working. So Sekwar says, I work at a credit card company, not MasterCard nor Visa, so I can give you a suggestion. Don't bother sending emails. Those will go straight to the trash. Do call their call center. They're not allowed to ignore calls, and they have to pay the call center operator companies. Yes, they are all third parties. Per call taken, lowering the amount of calls received on call centers is 80% of all the projects that I work on. Anything that increases the amount of daily calls is a nightmare for them. Keep calling, and they will fold. So looking at both those comments together, I mean, it's hilarious that apparently these call centers are now telling people, oh, just send us an email, guys. You know, you don't need to call us about this. The email would be so much better if you could please hang up and send an email. And it's
no,
like,
just call
no,
more.
we know what you guys are doing. Nice try. You know what we're going to do? We're going to call you more now. Yeah, we're just going to call even more. Get Rex. And so earlier in the video, I very briefly showed this image, this graphic that someone made. I'm not sure who made it, but whoever did, shouts out to you. And you can see it talks about U.S. laws violated, European laws violated, tips for the call, and number of phone numbers for these payment processors. And I figured for anyone curious, I would show it again if you want to screenshot this or whatever. And yeah, there you go. Now, moving on, we've actually got some good news regarding itch.io. Before we get to the good news, let's get a quick refresher. You may recall a number of days ago, specifically on July 24th, they made this update on their NSFW content, essentially capitulating to the payment processors' demands, saying, we have de-indexed all adult NSFW content from our browse and search pages. We understand this action is sudden and disruptive. We are truly sorry for the frustration and confusion caused by this change. Recently, we came under scrutiny from our payment processors regarding the nature of some content hosted on itch.io due to a game titled No Mercy, which was temporarily available on itch.io before being banned back in April. The organization Collective Shout launched a campaign against Steam and itch.io, directing concerns to our payment processors about the nature of certain content found on both platforms. Alright, with that context, we now have itch.io from 19 hours ago providing this update on their website titled Re-indexing Adult NSFW Content Developer Update. So let's hop over there and take a look. Today, we are re-indexing free adult NSFW content. We are still in ongoing discussions with payment processors and will be reintroducing paid content slowly to ensure we can confidently support the widest range of creators in the long term. Note, I've limited the display of replies to prevent off-topic discussion. If you have issues or concerns, you can contact support, or if you want to have a more public discourse, then I recommend creating a topic in general discussion. If you'd like to be eligible for today's reindexing, your page must have the following option checked: the no payments option under the pricing section of your project's edit page in your dashboard. itch.io would then discuss how they've operated with Stripe as a facilitator of payment transactions on their site for over 10 years. But that unfortunately, Stripe claims they won't be able to support certain adult content on the site. But itch.io went on to say, we're in the process of talking with other payment partners to accept card payments that Stripe is unable to process. We disabled Stripe payments last week on pages identified as having adult NSFW content, quote unquote. Now that we have a more specific definition from Stripe, we may review that initial list for potential reintroduction. However, our long-term plan is to implement one or more new processors to avoid putting the platform at risk. So the reindexing is a little bit half-baked right now, as it seems that they are only going to be returning adult games that are not paid, so free games.
The free
and while
ones
it's a start, it's still not a great situation. However, the latter part of the statement does seem quite a bit more optimistic, where they discuss moving away from the authoritarian payment processors and seeking an alternative to fully bring the reindexing of paid adult games back as well. And in other news, the last thing we'll take a look at in this video is a brief update on the YouTube situation, where the other day we talked about YouTube starting to ask for IDs in the US.
That's crazy.
Specifically on August 13th, where this policy seems
they
to
want
begin.
IDs now.
And they essentially say that they're going to be using more advanced AI to detect
if
users are under 18. And if they detect that they believe that you are under 18, they're going to ask for verification via ID or credit card to prove that you're not really under 18. So hey, if they get this wrong, it's on you to then provide your own personal information to the platform. Pirate Nation making this follow-up that then got the response from YouTube that I had on screen a moment ago that we'll read in a second. Context being, Pirate Nation says they're rolling out AI-based age estimation in the US to identify users under 18. If miscategorized, you'll need to verify with a government ID, selfie, or credit card effective August 13th.
That's crazy.
And yeah, Team YouTube then says, as you mentioned in your reply, this won't be required for all users. We've always had the option for age verification via ID or credit card if someone is incorrectly estimated to be under 18. This update is about using better technology to make these estimations. Interestingly enough, one user would respond with an email they got from YouTube where, according to them, their account is already age verified with their ID that they've already submitted, but even with that account being verified as over 18, they actually still got their live streaming abilities shut off, allegedly because YouTube thought that they're a minor between age 13 and 15.
What the hell?
The email saying, "Hi there, I hope this email finds you well. We have received an update from our specialist, and here's what we can share. To better protect minors on YouTube, live streams with minors 13 to 15 years old who are not visibly accompanied by an adult may have their live chat disabled. Channels not in compliance with this policy may have live chat temporarily disabled on future streams started by the channel. Please note
it's
that in the future, we
yeah.
plan to take down live streams that violate this policy, and the account may temporarily lose its ability to live streams. Sincerely, sincerely the YouTube team." And that user says in response, "I'm not a minor.
But there's a lot of people that just
ID verified." So of course, I don't know if this is a true story or not, but make of it what you will. If this is true, the whole system's a complete mess. And I think that does it for all the updates I wanted to go over in this video, so I'll leave it there. And thank you all for your continued support. I'm really glad so many people are enjoying my coverage on this ongoing situation. If you enjoyed this video too, please consider liking and or subscribing. It really does help out, and I truly appreciate it. Also, have a great weekend ahead, and I'll see you in the next one.
That's just crazy, though. That is crazy. Oh, here's another one. About Nintendo Switch price hikes.
What is this? You're making me pay you to stand at the cash register? What is the meaning of this? Have you gone off the deep end?
There's gonna be a few changes around here. Every time I catch you two goofing off, I'm gonna charge you for it.
18, 19, and 20.
You know what I love about Nintendo is after what is quite possibly the most underwhelming direct they've had in a while,
Yep.
they follow it up with even worse news, because that's just how they
They
operate.
celebrated Canada Day by raising our prices here. They did it on Canada Day, no less. Which is just more fucked. When they raised the prices, they did it on July 1st. Which is just... What a way to celebrate, man. They celebrated with a big fuck you.
I mean, do you really have to do good things for the consumers if they're gonna buy your shit anyway? I
Yep.
can't think of a single console generation quite like
How
this
many
one.
times did that guy need to buy Bowser's Inside Story?
Never before in our lives have we actually witnessed this ridiculous price gouging. What's
Yep.
even more ridiculous is how the Nintendo community, well, not just the Nintendo community, but the Xbox and PlayStation communities as well, will turn to the criticism in my videos towards this price gouging and call it grifting. Yeah, it's grifting to
Yep.
call out price hikes of ancient hardware. Fuck out of my face with that. And if you want to yell at me, well, there's a face for you to actually yell at, because I did my face reveal last video, as I promised all of you. For all the Nintendo soy jacks who wanted a face to punch mentally for a long time because I told them the truth, you have it. Just like I have my silver play button because of how much you hate the truth. So thank you for that. As a matter of fact, how about we get me to 110,000 subs so I can get that nice camera and start doing more stuff for you on video. We are close to hitting 103,000 subs.
Fine,
so
I guess.
smash that button.
But we're
and
gonna
let's
be
get
ending
right
off
into
soon
the
after this.
quote unquote grifting that these Nintendo guys are accusing us of.
It's not disrespectful because it's true.
Today's update comes to us from the
The film
official
survey.
Nintendo website,
Oh,
letting us know
where's the
as of the
survey?
beginning of this month, starting today, pricing for the original Nintendo Switch family of systems and products will change in the United States based on, there it is again, market conditions.
Sure.
What that word means? Yep. Yeah, what's that mean?
What is market conditions, Frit? Yes, market conditions is that thing where all these companies are making record-breaking profits, and for some odd reason, they need to charge you more. Otherwise, it will go from record-breaking profits to solely profits. That's what that is.
Yep.
As much as these people want to blame tariffs, as much as these people want to blame inflation, the truth is there is absolutely zero excuse to be raising the price of hardware that is well over 8 years
no
old.
excuse.
This would be like raising the price of the PS4 today. The Nintendo Switch is a system that should be at most $150 by now. But they kept that system at the same price, and now 8 years later, that ancient ass fucking hardware.
You can literally buy like tablets for like $150 that are more powerful than the Switch. Like right now, you can.
That's older than the mentality of most Nintendo guys, is more expensive today than it was at launch. There isn't a single solid excuse for this, and you know there isn't. Nintendo just saw that they sold 6 million Switch 2s in 7 weeks and thought to themselves, I guess there really is nothing we can do wrong. Why don't we go ahead and raise the price of this hardware that is a license to print money? There's zero reason to drop the price. The idiots will pay for it. That is exactly why they've done it. They will always claim market conditions, when not a single one of them is struggling whatsoever. Effective August 3rd, 2025, these include Nintendo Switch OLED model, Nintendo Switch Lite, and Nintendo Switch accessories. Other Nintendo products, including certain Nintendo Switch 2 accessories, accessories, select amiibo, and the Nintendo Sound Clock Alarmo. We will also see adjustments. Pricing for the Nintendo Switch 2 system, physical and digital, Nintendo Switch and Nintendo Switch 2 games, as well as Nintendo Switch Online memberships will remain unchanged at this time.
Worldwide.
However, please note that price adjustments.
Actually, here's the thing. 6 million is worldwide to the distributor. They didn't actually sell 6 million. They sold 6 million to the distributor. So, like, here's the thing, right? The way retail stuff works, right? If you're a company, you make your product, right? If you have an e-commerce site, you can sell it directly, sure. But what they end up doing is they sell it to a distributor, and then the distributor will then sell it to, like, your Best Buy, your Walmart, or whatever, your whatever store you're thinking of. Your Costco, your whatever. So basically, those sales are whatever they sold in the My Nintendo store and to whatever distributors. Meaning they're not in people's hands. It doesn't mean that there's 6 million Switches out in the wild that people, the actual end customers have. No. It just means that they sold 6 million to some other party, whether it be whoever directly bought it from the website or the distributors. The distributors would sell it to, like, those stores or like a mom and pop shop or whatever, and then you would go to those stores and buy from them. That's pretty much what it is. It's like, yeah, because, like, the thing is, they sold it to distributors. The distributors sold them to retailers, but the retailers aren't selling. Where I live, the Switch 2, it hasn't sold out since it came out in June. For the past 2 months, like, everywhere. There's, like, a Switch 2 at my local Shoppers Drug Mart. They got stock for the Switch 2 back in June. They still haven't sold a single one of them. They're still sitting there on the display cabinet at, like, at a store nearby. That store is owned by Loblaws, but, like, they haven't sold a single Switch 2, and they have 5 in stock. They do sell, like, consoles and stuff occasionally, but, like, it's not the main reason why people go to that type of store. But they always keep a handful of these in stock. So they have, like, PS5s, they have Xbox Series, they even have Switch 1s and stuff like that. They've always had those in stock. But, like, they haven't sold a single one. They haven't sold through the units they initially got. Nobody bought it. They're just sitting there. The prices are absurd. No, it's like $700 for a Switch 2 in Canada. A Steam Deck OLED is literally cheaper than a Switch 2. It's cheaper for me to go and buy a Steam Deck OLED than it is to buy a Switch 2. It's cheaper. Some models of the ROG Ally with the Z1 chipset cost about the same price as a Switch 2 as well. No, they're selling them for $700. Not $900 to $1,000 Canadian, they're selling them for $700. Which is more expensive than a Steam Deck OLED. They're basically charging about as much as the cheaper, lower storage options of the Lenovo Legion Go, the first gen Lenovo Legion Go, and the Lenovo Legion Go and the ROG Ally, not the Ally X, but the ROG Ally with the Z1 Extreme. You can buy those at Best Buy for a similar price as the Switch 2. Like, they're not selling the Switch 2s, they're not selling. The price is too high. Like, the PS5 Pro, for example, is like $1,000 Canadian. This is before taxes, mind you. Oh yeah, and like, the PS5 Pro is funny because the price is so bad that you can literally buy a gaming laptop that is faster for less than a PS5 Pro. You can buy a more powerful gaming laptop for the price of a PS5 Pro in Canada. That's how bad the pricing is. You can get a more powerful gaming laptop for cheaper. Which is kind of funny. The console pricing just makes no sense for a lot of these things. They're too expensive. They don't have the convenience factor or anything anymore. They make, like, no sense to buy. They just don't make any sense to buy. It'd be one thing if they were at least cheap and convenient and they were just worked, plug and play right out of the box. You don't have to deal with any other bullshit. But they don't. Not anymore. Especially with, like, the game keycard stuff. It's ridiculous.
It may be necessary in the future.
What? Trust me, it's the only way.
It's basically Nintendo saying, buckle in. It's gonna be the most expensive Nintendo generation of them all. I mean, from a business standpoint, this makes sense. Why wouldn't Nintendo raise the prices? People are buying $700 PS5s, $80 games, and paying to have access to use voice chat. Why in the hell wouldn't they take the opportunity to raise prices in a market that has been conditioned to not fight back? I mean, unless they're Xbox users, those people stopped buying their console outright. But Nintendo and Sony, I guess we're supposed to make believe that their games are so good, we can overlook that. Now everybody is pointing to the new tariff policies Trump put in place overnight. But when you realize that the Switch 2 isn't going up in price to combat that, that should make you realize Nintendo doesn't have to increase the price of the Switch 1 to quote-unquote offset the cost. Yeah, let's offset the cost on the consumers by making 8-year-old hardware more expensive. That makes total sense. No, it doesn't. These quote-unquote market conditions for the most profitable Japanese company are an opportunity for them to make more money. It's not like they're raising the prices hesitantly and it hurts them to do so. As we can see here, the Switch 1 console pricing increase is already in effect at Target. Switch OLED went from $350 to $400. Yeah, that's right. A Switch 1 OLED is nearly as much as the Switch 2 now. Insane.
That
the
non-OLED
model went from $300 to $340, and then the Switch Lite went from $200 to $230. Joy-Cons also went up by 5, and that alarm clock thing went up by 10. Yeah, you know,
it's ridiculous.
The tariffs are just hurting Nintendo so much that this hardware that they make an instant profit on, it just has to be more expensive. There's no other option. Bullshit. Bull fucking shit. I'll tell you what's going on. Nintendo wants to make as much money as possible on their last run of the Switch 1 before they discontinue making it. That's what's going on, which is the complete opposite of what they used to do. You know, remember when the GameCube was marked at $100? Hell, I remember when the economy collapsed in 2008, game companies were figuring out ways to get you economic deals. Because when they
I remember when the Wii dropped to $100 in price. I remember when shit like the Wii dropped to $100 in price. I remember. As well, and that wasn't too long ago. It's ridiculous.
Like Nintendo was during the GameCube era, they will competitively price their system accordingly, and that's exactly where a company should be. You do not want them to be too successful, but Nintendo guys can't help themselves. They've created the Disney of gaming. The fact that the reaction from Nintendo guys is immediate anger and frustration, and Nintendo just has to say, wait, market conditions, and everybody just sits back down calmly like, oh, okay. It's fine, Nintendo.
It's ridiculous.
You're just doing what you have to. That's pathetic, spineless, soy-induced behavior. It's so bad, even RGT85 has to call it out. Are you all still falling for market conditions excuse, or have you waken up yet? Y'all talking about tariffs on a system that came out in 2017 is wild behavior. I hate to tell you this, RGT, but as much as you're speaking the truth right now, Nintendo guys don't want to hear it. They want to find someone to blame other than Nintendo, because it's easier that way. Like that Nintendo doofus on Twitter. This is what your morons voted for. Or are you talking about people who voted for Trump? I mean, yes, tariffs are a result of voting for Trump, but Nintendo pricing? That's a result of you voting with your wallet, so shut the fuck up. These guys do not want to share any of the responsibility. They want to blame the Orange Man, which, you know, it's quite easy to do. But holding yourself accountable for buying $80 games, for handing money over to Nintendo for basic utilities like voice chat, that plays a far bigger role than tariffs. Nintendo has only ever dropped the price of things when they were struggling, and you guys refuse to let Nintendo struggle. Let's just put the tariffs aside for a minute. The Switch 1 has zero reason to be marked at the price it is right now for over 8 years. There's no way in hell to justify that console still being $3.
Yeah, as a Nintendo hater, more of this, please. Yeah, I mean, as a Nintendo fan, you're guilty as charged, but you supported buying both versions. Yeah, it's just, for me, I didn't even bother, man. What I did is, I have my own modded Switch. I did stuff with that. And I used that for a large chunk of what I've done with my Switch. But yeah.
$300 now. The thing can't even run most games at a locked 30 FPS, and they want more money for it. It is by far the least capable system, and that shit should have been half the price it is now. But because Nintendo refused to have lowered the price over 8 years, now the tariffs have made it more expensive.
It's whatever,
and that works
man.
in their favor. That's why I say, fuck Nintendo. Had the Switch 1 been like $150 by now, the increase from the tariffs wouldn't feel like such a slap to the face, but it feels like a slap to the face because Nintendo, instead of opting for lowering the price of that system, has said, keep it the same. Just tack on the tariffs, offset it on the consumer. Who cares? Point being, Nintendo doesn't care about you, the consumer.
Yeah, they never
intentionally left the Switch 1 priced exactly the same. And they expect you to fork over the bill. They are a billion-dollar company. They can figure this out. Why do you need to defend them? And it's sad because Nintendo's quite confident that you will cover the cost for them, which we both know you will. Because you can't help yourself. Much like a crackhead can't help it. I don't know why you're addicted to kids games that not even kids themselves want to play. But,
exactly.
I guess that's their vice. Nintendo is their weakness, and I'm not even sure why. Those games are so easy, it's an insult to my intelligence. Just like their pricing is an insult to my wallet and an insult to yours, but...
Yeah, and I never pay, I'm never gonna pay for it, man. Fuck that.
I guess there's just no other way. This is the only way Nintendo knew how to do this.
I ain't gonna pay for their stupid online thing.
Can't afford to lower the price of their Switch 1, apparently.
I tried it once, it was so bad, I'm never gonna touch it again. And their emulation thing for the thing that they had there is so awful too. And I only tried it once because I was streaming stuff on it. That was the only reason why I even bothered. Back then. This was years ago. And the shit was just so bad. I'm like, not gonna... Like, no. But yeah.
Doing so well, you question how that's even possible. But this is Nintendo. You don't ask questions. You just consume product and get excited for next product. That is their company motto. Like, comment, share, and subscribe if you so choose to. With that being said, I'll see you
3
in the
seconds
next
per
video.
frame, not 3 frames per second. Don't kid yourself. It's 3 seconds per frame. It isn't 3 frames per second. Let's be real. Don't kid yourself. Right? It's 3 seconds per frame, not 3 frames per second. Right? Like, it's 3 seconds per frame. It's... yeah. And they're taking advantage of it too, because they know the dumbasses will pay for it. And that's the world we live in. Yeah, it's like, yeah, I don't care. It's like I missed the part where that was my problem. Is all I'll say. But yeah. That said though, that's a good place to end this segment anyways for now. Because I need to get up early and stuff and do stuff tomorrow. I have things going on, but yeah. That's their world and that's what they want to live. So we'll be ending this stuff here. You guys can still AFK for drops. I'm gonna get the stream restarted for that. Let me make sure I get the right title things copied over. But yeah, we're just gonna be ending that stuff here for now. But yeah, I'll see you guys next time though when we have the weekly reset and everything. Oh, you sent the React thing with the survey or something? We'll look at it later. We'll do it tomorrow. Cause I gotta get up early tomorrow. I gotta get up early and do stuff. Wait, did it not even mark the sleeping for now thing? Oh, that is interesting. It didn't. Wait, I don't think it did. Yeah. I'll see you guys next time then.